Welcome back to Small Caps, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm Kerry Stevenson. Today, I am bringing you the company Hydralyte. ASX code is HPC. Joining me today is Oliver Baker. He's an Aussie. He's based in San Diego. He's the CEO, and he's taking this company into some really interesting specs. Now, don't think Hydralyte Australia. This is Hydralyte in other parts of the world, and it's going to be a really interesting chat. Oliver, thanks for joining me on Small Caps today. I'm really fascinated by what you're doing with the company and the changes that are being made. But this is the first time you and I have chatted. So give us a brief overview of Hydralyte. Who are you? Why did you list on it? Because you've only just listed last December. Give us that overview if you like.
Yeah, thank you, Kerry. Look, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me on the show. So, yeah, look, I've been with the Hydralyte business a number of years. It's important to distinguish the Australian business and the North American business. Where the business that listed in Australia last year is what we call Hydralyte North America, and we own the rights to the Hydralyte brand outside of Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia, and that really means Canada and America. So we operate the business here in San Diego. We have half of our revenue coming from Canada and the other half from the US, and it's been a hell of a journey the last couple of years. We really revolutionized the business back in 2018 with a focus on Amazon as our primary point of distribution, on product innovation, so being the most innovative company in our category, and getting our team and supply chain right to be able to service America and Canada much better than what we were doing before. And that's led us into kind of a period of electric growth. That was what inspired the IPO, so that we could continue to get capital into the business to expand and deliver on our plans for the next couple of years. And so far, so good. Our first quarter of this year, we grew revenue 122% on the corresponding quarter last year. So we are in a period of what they call, hyper growth, and it's been, an exciting ride.
Well, you talk about growth. You IPO'd in December. Where is the growth coming from? What's the innovation that you're doing, which is driving that growth?
Yeah, so the first thing we looked at back in 2018 was the need to be in a format that was using all natural ingredients, first of all, and also a product that came in a format that was easy to pour into a water bottle. Many people will know the square-sized packet that comes in Australia for Hydralyte powders. Yep. And the effervescent tablets. We're probably more familiar with the tablets. Tablets are not a big format in America, and that's actually one of the most kind of biggest insights about the difference in the business, that there's no Barocca for everyone to know, okay, we're going to drop 2 tablets into a glass of water. There just isn't that habit in America. And there's also the rise of the water bottle, of people walking around in their handbag, in their cars, in their gym bag of water bottles. So we have a kind of stick-style pack that's a long, skinny tube.
Like the one you've just got there.
The one here. I know your podcast listeners can't see that, which is why I'm
hesitant to show
it as best I can. But we sell bags of 30 of these, and bags of 30 of these are a very friendly price point for Amazon. So we have an average price point of $28 versus a tube of tablets you buy at Chemist Warehouse for $12.99 in Australia.
So that's one of the innovations. Where do you see the growth? How many different products have you got? Is it just Hydralyte and it's all natural? And why do we need it? I guess I'm looking at it going, well, isn't that just for sports people? And
yeah, look, it's a very interesting kind of way of looking at it. Most people come into Hydralyte through one way. Their doctor goes, hey, you got gastro, go get some Hydralyte. And then they take it home. They realize, it's healthier than a sports drink. This is great for travel and long flights when I get dried out. And then what it's often most famous for is hangovers. The one fun fact, I'll give you the funnest fact in America, that the number one pharmacy in the entire country for Hydralyte, Pedialyte, and other products like ours is on the Las Vegas Boulevard. It's right in the middle of Las Vegas Strip. And so that isn't because, we've got sick kids who need hydration. It's because we have hungover adults who need hydration. And so the American consumer has really woken up to the effectiveness of these products. Superior to water, there's no electrolytes in water. Superior to sports drinks, a quarter of the sugar of a sports drink. Superior to coconut water. Coconut water has a lot of electrolytes, but extremely high in sugar. So you're getting a low sugar, high electrolyte mix that goes straight into your bloodstream. And that's why you feel better straight away when you take a Hydralyte. And what that's meant is the category in America has gone, when I started 3 or 4 years ago, from 500 million to 1.5 billion. And that's in 5 years. So we're talking.
Run those numbers. Give me those numbers again. Sorry.
300 or 400 million US dollars was the category size back in 2018. The category size now is closer to 1.5 billion. And that's just in America. So you could imagine what that opportunity means from a worldwide perspective. We have 28% of the Canadian category. Now, the Canadian category has been grossly underserved because of a regulation change that only happened at the end of 2019. So up until 2019, you couldn't sell hydration products online. It was a unique anomaly in the way that Health Canada treated rapid rehydration products. So that change happened. And from 2019 onwards, we've been selling online, and Amazon is now our second biggest customer in Canada. And the Canadian category is growing faster than America. So this is a kind of an easy ratio for everyone to kind of get. Canada is 1/10 the size of the US, just on population. Roughly 35 million Canadians, roughly 350 million Americans. Almost every brand is a 10th. Every category is a 10th. Any national brand like that, it just always shakes out close enough to a 10th. The Canadian category, though, is 1/20th to what it is in America. So we've kind of got a doubling to go in Canada to even kind of catch up to a 10th. So we have 28% share of the Canadian market. That category is growing faster than the US now. And so we believe Canada can quite easily be 150 million. Well, not easily. It should be 150 million right now. And it's barely 30, 40 million. So
massive growth there. How do you penetrate that market? Do you increase your marketing spend, or how do you wait?
The great thing is we've penetrated it. We've spent 7 years, scrounging for every slot on shelf. And the leading pharmacy chain in Canada is called Shoppers Drug Mart. They have around 1,200 stores. They control 35% of pharmacy, which is roughly what Chemist Warehouse control back in Australia. So think of the dominant number one player in pharmacy. We have 12 SKUs on shelf with them, and we're in 45, 50% growth depending on the week each week. So
now, for those that don't know what a SKU is, that is a different.
Oh, that's a single product on a shelf. Yeah. It's called a stock keeping unit. Yeah. It's a bit of a buzzword, but it really just means a single item. So think of 12 Hydralyte products, flavors, formats on the leading pharmacy chain in the whole of Canada. And that being in, 50+% growth.
How'd you crack that company? A
lot of hard work. Me, meeting with them twice a year for 5 years.
Wow.
That's the way it works. And so that is one of the kind of investment thesis of Hydralyte is you can't just snap your fingers and start selling something. You really have to win over each retailer one by one with, trust delivery, trust delivery, continue to grow the sales, continue to bring product innovation, partner with them on what their ambitions are, but be a driver of category, not just a brand. And, that takes a lot of hard work over a number of years. And so a lot of that has actually been established. We're not just saying, okay, we got this total addressable market of 1.5 billion plus Canada, and we're just going to win 90% share of it. We've had to kind of get to the point where we have a dominant position on shelf, and then, let the category and the consumer plus our marketing and our continued sales strategy, take care of the rest. So it's always a fight and hard work. but a truckload of hard work has already been done.
Yeah, and it's almost like that tipping point now, and you can grow. How much growth do you see? Because earlier you said in terms of sales,
122% growth was the last quarter.
That was last quarter. I know we can't do forward-looking statements, but there's still a lot of growth to come, you believe, out of Canada and the US for Hydralyte?
Yeah, absolutely. Buried within those growth numbers are what's this very strong omnichannel Canadian business with a grossly underserved category. So honestly, even if we did nothing, the category will triple over the next 5 years, and we'll have all those products on shelf in the best retailers in Canada plus Amazon, growing organically just as the category grows. Not to mention all the innovation and energy and marketing that we'll put into our own brand. And then in America, as I said, it used to be 300 or 400 million, the category size. It's now 1.5 billion. Like, a 5% share of that.
What percentage do you guys have at the moment of that 1.5 bill?
Oh, we would only be about one. We would only be about one right now. But we only really need to get to 5 to be a business of serious significance. And we, as a kind of comparison, we have 28% share of Canada, where we've been there longer. And so we know consumers love our product. A great example is on our Amazon business. Between 18 and 20% of our sales each month are subscribed. People subscribe to the Hydralyte product. So
that they get it every month or whatever.
They get it every month or every second month, just delivered to their door, because they know that it plays a part in their life. And it's because of that, reference I made at the beginning, which is that people come into Hydralyte, because they're sick or because they're hungover or for sport, and they recognize all these different usage occasions, and they say, okay, this is actually a product I can use every day. 75% of people are dehydrated every day. And it's not just because they're getting sick or hungover. It's because they don't drink any water. It's because they drink coffee all day and they drink alcohol all weekend. And alcohol's a diuretic, coffee's a diuretic, and you're not drinking any water, you're not getting any electrolytes. And so that's where Hydralyte comes in. So people take it in the morning, they feel better straight away. They take it before they work out. They take it when they've had too many drinks, and they really feel the benefits straight away. And that's what's accelerating this broader category growth.
I'm getting a little bit interested in this for myself, just quietly. Can you have?
We'll send you some. We'll absolutely send you some for. VIPs get a free bag of Hydralyte.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be, I work hard, so that's fair enough. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you deserve it.
I deserve it. There you go. Can you it's not a drug, but can you overdose on the Hydralyte? Like they suggest, for example, with Barocca, that you don't take it on a day.
Hydralyte has electrolytes in it, including sodium and potassium, and there's a limit to how much sodium you should take. At the upper limits, it's a consult your doctor thing. Some people have conditions where a lot of salt is not good for them. Hydralyte doesn't have a lot of salt. There's more salt in soy sauce. That there's the right amount of salt to replenish electrolyte for the loss through sweat, or when you're, just general, bodily expulsion, or when you're sick and you're losing a lot more, fever, sweating, vomiting, all those kind of things. So, Hydralyte is a very basic product. The wonder of Hydralyte truly is that it's not a supplement. It's just food. It's a food and a drink with medical grade outcomes. And that's actually the secret of the formula, is that it's this high electrolyte, low sugar formula. It hits your body, goes straight into your bloodstream, and it has medical grade outcomes, but it's just a food. And that's what makes it.
Is it like KFC, like 16 special herbs and spices, and you're never going to find out what it is?
To get the right flavor, to make it dissolve right, to get, all those kind of things right, that is actually the secret herbs and spices. It's extremely hard to get all those things into a tablet, make it dissolve right, make it dissolve fast, and then, get it to shelf and market it as a brand. And all those things are, really particular points of IP. Not to mention the formula you said.
Oliver, I've still got so much to ask you and we're running out of time. So I need to ask you this. Recently, and it wasn't that long ago, Shay Mitchell. Wait for this, ladies and gentlemen. Shay Mitchell, she's a brand ambassador for these guys. This blew my mind because I thought, I better have a look at who this Shay Mitchell is. 34 million followers on 34 million. Like,
yeah,
insane. I don't know what her other brand.
No, you almost have to refresh your phone again to check if there's an extra zero there or not enough zeros. But yeah, she is a superstar and a wonderful human being, and we're truly lucky to have her on board. The 33 million is a big part of why we have that partnership. She talks to an incredible amount of people every day, and she's arguably she's the top 3 most followed woman in the whole world who is pregnant this year.
Oh, she's pregnant.
Number 1, she just had a baby. Number 1, Rihanna. Number 2, Britney. Number 3, Shay Mitchell. So, we're talking super stardom in terms of their social impact and their ability to sell. Importantly, though, she's also Canadian, where we have half her business. So we have an event with her in the middle of July where she's going back home to Toronto. And of course, she'll be welcomed as, one of the greatest exports that Canada's ever had, just like how Aussies, love our Hughes and Kates and Nicoles. The Canadians, love Shay. And so she's Canadian, but she's also an entrepreneur. So she has a luggage business called Base, BEIS, wonderful kind of fashion-forward luggage brand. It does over 50 million.
What did she like about Hydralyte? Why did she align herself with you guys?
She discovered it during pregnancy. She discovered it through pregnancy, and her Canadian friend told her to get it. So she contacted us. Would you believe it? So you can Google all these articles about her. She was looking for things for cramps during pregnancy, and pregnancy is one of the times you get really dehydrated. First trimester. Often women are suffering from morning sickness. So you're losing a lot of fluids, you get dehydrated, and as the pregnancy goes on, you're gaining weight, you're sweating more, you're not drinking enough water. All those things lead to a lot of cramps. And so she started taking for cramps. And then she was like, just like I was saying before, I understood it for one usage in pregnancy. And it was like, oh my God, this is great for workouts. She has a tequila brand as well, a tequila brand called Onda. So we're like, all right, Shay,
Tequila in the evening.
Enough said. You've got travel, tequila, pregnancy, 33 million followers. You're from Canada and you've sold 50 million bucks worth of luggage. I think we must be a match made in heaven. But this funny thing about celebrities, you can't just go to the celebrity shop and buy one. That they have to love you too. Yeah. They really have to love you back, because they have to truly believe in the product. And we have a collab product, a custom flavor coming out with Shay's name on it in the back half of the year. So,
okay. So talk to our community, if you like, about, we talked about growth. I want to know, since IPO, the share price, I'll be brutal with you. The markets are not being very friendly at the moment anyway, but your share price has had a little bit of pressure on the downward side. What's that down to? Is that just general market malaise, or? Yeah,
look, I don't know a stock in the world that hasn't come under pressure in the last 6 weeks. Famously, you can get Netflix or Shopify 80% off in the last 6 weeks for whatever time. So given the size that we're at, I think we're in, we've been remarkably resilient, and now we just have become an incredible buying opportunity. Nothing has changed.
Why are you an incredible buying opportunity right now?
Because nothing has changed in the fundamentals of our business. In fact, our business has strengthened since IPO, and that's illustrated by the numbers. 122% growth exceeded our expectations. And so, and our plans continue to roll out on plan. And so we're really delighted by it. We can't control the macro environment, so we take our hit in the share price like everyone else. But I think that cleans out the weeds. And then, we're very confident about that in the future. I can't control the price, but I can control the business, and the business is in wonderful shape. We got 4 quarters of cash, plenty of cash still in the bank.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Have you
got exactly. We're not sort of desperately looking for the exits for how to save this thing. We will continue to roll out our plans, and we have wonderful, exciting updates over the next few quarters. Not least what we're doing with Shay.
All right. Well, we'll have to get you back on in a few months' time to see how things are going. But Oliver, I appreciate your time over there from San Diego. It's probably the end of the day for you, and you want to get back to the family. But I would like to know, as our community would love to know, 3 reasons why they should be sitting up and taking notice of Hydralyte.
Well, I think number one is revenue growth. Irrespective of where we are in earning US dollars in serious revenue growth. And that, you can check our 4C to see where that's at. Shay Mitchell has just begun. Our partnership with her only began 6 weeks ago. Our first public event with her is middle of July on the 13th. And as I said, we have a collab SKU coming out later in the year. So that's really just begun. And so I think given the business fundamentals haven't changed at all, in fact, they've strengthened, the share price seems like an incredible deal. And look, our chairman was buying the other day. You can look that up on the ASX as well. So I think that is
so he was buying on your chairman was buying on market.
He was buying on market. So that's a wonderful illustration of the confidence that the board has with the state of the business if the chairman's buying. So I think that probably says enough.
And what about you, Oliver? Have you got skin in the game?
Yeah, I do. I am largely aligned. The majority of my shares with options, well out of the money at the moment. So I have a strong motivation to build a business back up, well above where it is today, beyond IPO price, and we're really confident in the way that that's rolling out. So I win when the shareholders win, particularly at this price.
Oliver Baker, so nice to talk to you about the Hydralyte story. I'm excited now. Who knew that Hydralyte was not just a hangover thing? It's lots of different things. So, Oliver, let's chat again in a few months' time, especially after you've done the Shay. What are you doing? What's the event?
We're going to do a workout event with one of the hottest workout instructors in the whole of. She's the IT workout out of LA. We're going to take her to Toronto. We got 50 influencers and all these hydration stations going on. So we're going to break the internet on July 13th in Canada.
Are you going to stream it live?
It will be. The workout won't be streamed live, but you'll see no shortage of streaming from our influencers there, who, of course, will have their mobile phones shooting all day and taking photos with Shay and interacting with all the Hydralyte products there on the day. So there'll be plenty of ways to tune in. Best thing to do is follow Shay Mitchell. That's where you'll see it.
And the second best thing is, how do they find out more about Hydralyte itself?
Look, the best thing to do is, is to look up our share code on the ASX. That's where you'll find all our announcements, get all the information, follow the stock, and anything else, you can get in touch with me. I'm always here to answer any questions.
All right. So Oliver Baker's the CEO. You've got any questions, make sure to reach out and ask him. The ASX code, as I said before, HPC. Thanks very much for joining me today on Small Caps.
My pleasure, Kerry. Thank you so much. Lovely to chat to you.